What if something happened to you or to your family and you could no longer work in your business? What would happen to your business? What would happen to you? Would you be okay financially? Well, in today's episode, I will teach you how to avoid losing the business and all the hard work that you put in it if you cannot or choose not to work in your business anymore. Welcome to Business Sense with Adriana on YouTube. I'm your host, Adriana Coward, mergers and acquisitions specialist and business strategist. I help my clients improve and sell their businesses and also prepare them for an eventual transition to a new owner. And I'm using that knowledge and this platform to help you build a high-value, thriving business that you can one day sell easily and for a great amount of money. So let me ask you the question again and really think about it for a second. What would happen to your business right now if all of a sudden you could not work in it anymore? Write in the comments below what would you have to do right now if you would get sick, for example, and could not work anymore. And also write in the comments below what you wish you could do with your business right now if something happened and you cannot be part of it anymore. As always, before we get started, hit the bell and subscribe to our channel so you get notified when new episodes become available here every Tuesday. I sell businesses for a living. I've done that for many, many years. And most of the clients that come and ask me to sell their business, they don't come to me because they're ready to retire, but they come because something happened. They either got ill or somebody else in the family got ill, or they got in an accident or something dramatic happened that forced them to let go of their business all of a sudden. When something like that happens, you have to decide pretty quickly what are you going to do with your business. Most business owners, me included, get so focused on growing the business and working in it that we forget that one day this will end and we'll have to let it go. Either because we're getting old and we want to retire, or because we get burned out and we just want to do something else, or because life happens, accidents happen, illnesses happen, things that you have no control over that can make you have to stop in your tracks all of a sudden. And most of us think that we will figure things out when they happen. But the reality is that if you don't build your business being very conscious of the ending that you want, you will not get the happy ending that you want for your business and for yourself. To help you understand well what I'm trying to tell you, I will use two examples from two of my clients. For confidentiality purposes, I will give them fake names and I will avoid any identifiable cues. I will call my first client John. So John came to me a couple of years ago and he asked me to help him prepare an exit strategy for his business. He has been in a construction business for over 30 years and he has built a very solid business in Louisiana. The business has been very successful, produced great revenue over the years, and John has used the revenue that came from the business to invest in a lot of real estate. So he had a very solid retirement set up for himself, and he wasn't necessarily in a rush to sell the business and make money from it. What he really wanted is to leave it to his son. When we met, John was ready to retire in that very minute, but he said he can give it another 6 months to make sure that the transition is done well. He has been thinking about retiring for a while, but it was hard for him to let go. That's all he knows, that's what he's been doing. But he had some new grandchildren that he wanted to spend time with, he wanted to travel, and he was set up so well financially that it didn't make sense for him to work so hard when he absolutely didn't have to. And he was ready to leave the business to his son. John was actually hoping to surprise his son and tell him, "Tada, I want to give you the business, so let's work on helping you take it over." So John never asked his son if he actually is interested in running the business. Also, the son had no experience in the construction industry. He has seen his dad working in the business and he has seen him making deals over the years, but he has not actually taken part of anything in that business. We discussed a plan on integrating John's son into the business and gradually train him to take over, and we realized that it's going to take a very long time. John has built the business in such a way that he was the brain behind everything, and to transfer 30 years of knowledge to somebody new takes a while. Also, John realized that there is a good chance that his son will not want to run the business. He actually had his own career in engineering, which is quite different. So before we started working on actual transition strategy, I asked John to go home and ask his son if he is interested in taking over the business, because if not, the exit strategy has to be completely different. Luckily for John, the son was very interested. The company that his father was running was making 10 times more money than the job that he was in at the moment, and he did like the lifestyle that his father had, so he was very interested. John was pretty happy. He was able to transition a business to his son and build a happy ending for the business that he always wanted. But in order to do that, he had to stay in it 2 years longer than he anticipated and longer than he wanted to. The conversation would have been completely different if John was disabled when he came to see me, if he was sick or something happened to him that won't allow him to be in the business anymore. He would have to leave millions of dollars on the table. The multi-million dollars of potential income that his son now has would have been a complete loss, because without the transition, he couldn't have taken over. And the business wasn't set up in a good way to be able to be sold either. So this multi-million dollars would have been a complete loss, because John would have had to shut down his business. So the moral of the story is, if you want to leave your business to your children, you have to prepare ahead. First of all, you have to find out if they're interested. If they're not interested, that's not even a viable solution for you. Because no matter how great the business is, a new owner that's not interested or not capable to run it can completely destroy it in under 6 months. Secondly, if they are interested, train them ahead. You don't know that you'll be able to train them whenever you are ready to retire. Life happens, health issue happened, accidents happen. So if your children are interested and you would like to leave it to them, start training them now. Start teaching them now the ropes, so when they take over the business, it's flawless and they don't end up losing money and possibly losing the business. I'll give you a second example from one of my clients. We'll call him Joe. When Joe came to see me asking me to sell his business, he was 88 years old. He has been running this business for over 50 years. And to be fair, this was possibly the coolest business that I've ever had listed. And the business was beautiful, and so was Joe. He had a wonderful character and a wonderful way about him, and he was a very determined man, which meant that he wasn't ready to retire until he was ready to retire. But when he was ready to retire, he was ready to retire, so he wanted to sell the business right now. A lot of the business's success heavily depended on Joe's tricks and systems and the way he was running the business and his particular expertise. So from where I was standing, I could see that the business will not transition easy to a new owner. It needed some work. But like I said, Joe was a very determined man. He knew what he wanted when he wanted, and he wanted to sell the business right now. So we listed the business for sale. And the business is a very attractive business. I've had more interested buyers in this business than I've had in any other business that I had before. However, they would all come, they would be very excited, they would look at everything, and nobody would commit because the business was not ready to sell. The business was making $1 million in revenue, and it was valuated at about $3 million, but it couldn't sell the way it was set up. Well, Joe has children and grandchildren, and his intention was to leave a pretty good inheritance to all of them. Also, he wanted to have a very comfortable retirement. So he decided to get his business in a better shape so he can sell for a great amount of money. The fastest way to prepare your business for sale is to hire a professional. And we have used the experience that we had after all these years of selling businesses and created a program that is designed specifically for that, to prepare your business for sale. The program is called Build to Sell and gets your business ready in 8 weeks, which is way faster than you could figure it out on your own. So during those 8 weeks, you will work pretty heavily into transforming your business and set it up in such a way that it's easy to grow really fast, and it's easy to transfer to a new owner. And the reason it's important to wait a couple of years after that is that first, you will need to be able to prove financially that the new setup works. Also, if the buyer goes through a bank to finance the buyout, the bank will have to approve your financials, and your financials will be in a way better set up once you go through this program. And the third, and actually possibly the most important reason why you should wait a couple of years or even more after you go through our program, is that the new system that we have in place will help your business constantly raise its value. So the longer you wait, the larger amount of money you'll be able to sell it for. 85% of the businesses on the market at any point never sell. They are never able to secure a buyer, and they end up simply shutting down. And the reason for that is that most businesses are set up great to produce income, but they're not usually set up well to transition to a new owner. So my advice to you is, if you would like to be able to sell your business at the end of your business life and make a great amount of money in doing so, prepare ahead. If you don't want to waste a lot of time and money in figuring out how to prepare your business, feel free to call me. I would love to talk to you and help you in any way I can. So there is additional information on how to get in touch with me, and also some information about our Build to Sell program underneath this video above the comment section. Feel free to call me, and I would love to help you out.